What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kevin with Optimized Essentials. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Andrew Tate. Now, I was inspired to make this video because recently he decided, or him and Patrick Bet-David filmed the second interview and posted it on YouTube. And I was reminded of this reel that I'm about to show you and how I believe he became the top G because of it. So let's watch it.
He's better and not skinny as fuck and actually has something going for him.
And I think that flipped this switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this.
Boom! Burn! Okay, did you guys catch that? He says,
he's better and not skinny as fuck and actually has something going for him.
He's better and he's not skinny as fuck. He just has something better going for him, okay?
He's better and not skinny as fuck and actually has something going for him.
Imagine a girl says that to you, okay? What would that cause? For a lot of guys, that would cause emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
Right? Now, the reason why I believe Andrew Tate became the man that he is, or became the top G, is because of this right here. The influence of a woman. And I'm going to be reading to you some excerpts off of Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 11, Sexual Transmutation, and how the power of women can influence men to achieve great heights. Now, lucky for Andrew, right, she flipped the switch in him to become the top G. Right? A lot of guys who hear this, let's say a girl tells you, you're just too nice, you're not good enough, right? Or this, I've had a girl tell me you're too nice, and I'm still really nice. But here's the thing, two possibilities can happen inside of your mind, inside of your body, inside of your spirit, your soul, right? When a girl tells you something and puts you down, you will either hang your head down and cower, which he kind of did. Like, did you see his face? His face was like, he was shocked. He was like, oh, she just said that. He said he's better and not skinny as fuck, okay? Now, he took that to heart, and he was like, bitch, just watch. I'll show you, right? He took the emotion of, you're not good enough. You're not good enough for me. You're too fucking skinny, right? He took that, and he transmuted it into power, okay? Did you catch that? He took that insult, right? That heartbreak, and he transformed it into power. How many guys do you know who get their heart broken or are told they're not good enough? And they're like, and just crying for days and weeks, and right? Why did she leave me? I'm not good enough. And then they just wallow in their pity, right? There's two types of people. There's the guy, or two types of guy. There's the guy who takes it to heart and just is traumatized for life, or there's people like Andrew Tate and other high value men who listen to this stuff and be like, I'll show you what, right? If you haven't watched my video on how sexual transmutation actually works, I filmed a video where I break down how you transform, right? How you can transform sexual desire into something better, into something positive, right? How do you transform a negative into a positive? Well, think about this. Really think about this. Think about all the negative events that has happened in your life. Maybe the trauma, maybe the dark night of the soul, right? That's why they say the 1,000-petal lotus blossoms, right? The lotus petal, it blossoms in the shittiest mud, right? It grows into the flower that it is. The lotus grows into the petal because of its environment, right? So when you are put through a negative challenge, when you are put through an insult like that, you can either break down from it or you can get better, okay? When she said that to Andrew, I think it struck a very deep chord in him, and he was like, I'll show you what, right? I'll become the top G. And then if you watch other successful people like Eminem or these rappers who their teacher told them, you'll never amount to anything, right? You'll never become anything. You have ADHD, and you'll label them. And then people will take this negative energy, of people who says, you're not going to make it. And they'll be like, fuck you, I'm going to make it. And watch me, bitch, right? That's the energy that guys need to have nowadays. Anyone who is telling you you can't make it, you're not good enough, right? Take that energy and then transform it into a positive. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about sexual transmutation because that's what I believe he did right here, okay? Not many guys understand what sexual transmutation is. And if you don't know what it is, then check out my free course on sexual transmutation because I go into extensive detail on the energy basics, energy fundamentals, how sexual energy works from like a scientific framework, right? And then also talk about, how sexual transmutation has been utilized by highly successful athletes, pro fighters, MMA fighters, boxing people, Patrick Bet David himself, right? If you didn't watch that video, I recently filmed that. I'm gonna post that up. I talk about this in my masterclass, so check all those links down below, okay? I don't want to just plug my program, but I do want to plug my program because if you're a guy and you have not been on no-fat and semen retention and you have not felt the power that comes from it, you must, I encourage you, you have to get on it at least once, okay? So check out the resource down below. My course on sexual manifestation will go into super deep detail and teach you how to overcome your sexual desire, overcome your sexual urges, how to do breath work, to really transmute that sexual energy, sexual desire right then and there, how to eat on sexual transmutation, the best diet for high levels of hormones, how to train your masculinity. Everything is in that course, but I want to talk to you about sexual transmutation, okay? Now, again, think about all the times that you've been motivated by a woman's presence, okay? Maybe a very beautiful girl comes in the gym and all of a sudden you find yourself, or you see other guys acting like monkeys, right? You see a beautiful girl walks in with yoga pants, nice bubble butt, perky tits, right? And you're just like, oh my God, God damn, right? Even the way she breathes, just her breathing alone makes you, oh my God, takes my breath away, right? There are some girls' presence that are so powerful, so magnetic, where it's like, it impels you to take action. Right? Like, think about all the girls you see on Instagram, on social media, and, they post these provoking pictures of them with their butt, right? There was a funny ass meme where it's like, the girls are showing a booty pic, right? Having their butt cheeks hanging out with a thong, and then it's like, oh, look at my nice shoes. It's like, bitch, you're trying to show me your ass, not your shoes. Get the fuck out of here. Those girls you talk about, add a caption, trying to divert the attention, like have their boobs hanging out. Oh yeah, I'm having a fun time on the beach. No, bitch, you're trying to show me your tits. Get the fuck out of here, right? But I want you to think about, are there any moments in time, are there any examples in your life where you've done something to please a girl, right? Where you've been a simp. That term is like heavily thrown around. Have you done anything to be cool in front of her eyes, right? Maybe you try to jump off a building, not off a building, but you try to do something stupid or you try to do something cool to look good for her, right? You try to win her approval. Or maybe you bend over backwards and take her to work, drive her home and stuff like that. You want to show her your masculinity. You want to show her how nice of a guy you are. What type of cringe moments can you recall where you've acted subservient to win the woman's approval, right? There are so many ways a woman can influence a man, but the most powerful way to influence a man successfully is by provoking his sex drive. If a woman can provoke you sexually, she has you by the leash, man. Like you have a collar around your neck and she is pulling you, okay? Think about the next time you see a post on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, where a girl is causing you to be horny over her, okay? She has power over you. And the stuff that I'm teaching for men is to transmute your sexual energy, to become the master of your sexual desire, to become the master of your sexual urges, okay? Now, why is this important? Because if you allow a woman to have such control over you, right? To just want to blow a load the moment you feel horny, you will not feel that drive, that power that you can truly have when you harness the sexual energy and you turn it into something better. So without further ado, I want to read you an excerpt by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, and how this ties into sexual transmutation and what happened to Andrew Tate, okay? He says, man's greatest motivating force is his desire to please women. The hunter who excelled during prehistoric days before the dawn of civilization did so because of his desire to appear great in the eyes of the woman. Man's nature has not changed in this respect. The hunter of today brings home no skins of wild animals, but he indicates his desire for her by supplying fine clothes, motor cars, and wealth. Man has the same desire to please women that he had before the dawn of civilization. The only thing that has changed is his method of pleasing. Men who accumulate large fortunes and attain to great heights of power and fame do so mainly to satisfy their desire to please women. This is so powerful, guys. And then he further says this, take women out of their lives and great wealth would be useless to most men. It is this inherent desire of man to please woman which gives woman the power to make or break a man. Okay, and then I want to read you a little bit more. He talks about the pages of history are filled with the records of great leaders whose achievements may be traced directly to the influence of women who arouse the creative faculties of their minds through the stimulation of sex desire. And then he says two things that scientific research has found when you study the biographies of great men, right? He said the men of greatest achievement are men with highly developed sex natures. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of women. The research from which these astounding discoveries were made went back through the pages of biography and history for more than 2,000 years. Wherever there was evidence available in connection with the lives of men and women of great achievement, it indicated most convincingly that they possessed highly developed sex natures. Okay, now let's break this down. In his book, Chapter 11, Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, The Mystery of Sexual Transmutation, he talks about how there were high achievers, right? Like Napoleon Bonaparte, which was like a French army leader, I believe, who like conquested pretty much the whole Europe, right? And he was influenced by his wife, Josephine. And then there's also the example of Genghis Khan, right? Who pretty much took over the world almost during that age. And he too was influenced by the power of his wife. Now, women can influence you in a negative way, or they can influence you in a powerful way. That's why he talks about when you mix the emotion of love and sex, you have the most potent form of motivation for man, right? It's sex by itself is great, right? Motivating force of sex is great. But when you mix the emotion of love into it, right? Love and sex, when you mix them together, that's when the man will really, truly perform at his highest potential. That's why you can see these highly successful people who've achieved these great heights. They say behind every successful man is a woman, right? Or maybe he talks about that hot treasurer secretary, right? Who's in your office and you're constantly performing at a high speed. Maybe you're at your job, there's this cute girl and you're trying to impress her by, maybe you're serving food and you're serving faster and you're trying to show her how good you are, right? Hunters in the past would bring home like the bacon, right? Bring home the animal because they wanted to please the woman. So sexual transmutation is a powerful concept to supercharge your success, guys. If you haven't watched the video on how Patrick Bet-David, the guy who interviewed Andrew Tate recently, how he abstained for 17 months from sex in order to make his first $1 million, that's the power, right? When you transform that base desire, that lower desire for sexual gratification, you transform it into a higher energy center. You bring it up the spine. You supercharge and you invigorate your body. You become more vigorous and powerful as a man. You have more vitality, more spiritual energy, more ojas flowing through you. It will drive you into working out harder. It will drive you to becoming more creative in your art. It will make you a better rapper, a better singer, a better martial artist, jujitsu, right? Boxer, whatever it is that requires your life force. When you do NoFap, semen retention, and more importantly, sexual transmutation, it will transform you into the top G, right? Because that girl said that to Andrew Tate and he wanted to show women, right, in order to win their approval and to gain sexual attraction or to become the alpha male, right? because of what she said, he put in tons of work to become the world kickboxing martial or a 4-time kickboxing champion, right? Because he wanted to win the approval of a girl. This is what it drove him to, okay? So I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. Just think about all the influences women have had on your life, all the motivating factors they've had, and what you've done in the name of trying to get sex, okay? Have you paid for porn subscriptions? Have you, subscribed to OnlyFans, right? Have you done stupid shit just to get sex from a woman? Well, if you transmute that energy, that desire, that raw primal desire that all men have, and you bring that in, you harness it in your body, you conserve your energy as I talk about, you cultivate it and you circulate and then you transform it into something else, that is how you become a genius. That's how you lift mediocrity into genii, as Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich talks about it, okay? So I want to wrap this video up. It's getting kind of long. Again, if you want to get a course on how to master sexual energy, how to master sexual transmutation, check the links down below. At least get the free version so that you understand how sexual transmutation works. Join our Facebook group. Book a call if you want to work with me. Get on NoFap Consumer Attention if you haven't already. Reclaim your masculinity. Reclaim your power so that you can become the top G like Andrew Tate. Have a good one. Peace.